Shalom. Allah start out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash, double honor to the apostles, and the elders, great millstone, salutations to the Philet. Just pushing this truth across the comes earth, our fair truth and sincerity. This, I'm gonna want to buy it back again. Sitting. This one going to. I'm not gonna make this too long. Just going into about how in these times that you're gonna have so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Israelites, those that know the truth, those that mock and scoff and laugh at the truth, or don't take what the apostles and elders of Bergamists don't say seriously. Don't take heed to the warnings. They're gonna sell out. They're gonna give in to the so-called white man Esau Edomites, worldly, things, I say, give into the, the monetary, funds, the money. They're gonna sell it out. They're gonna sell out because a lot of so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Israelites, in these times, and going forward, can't handle. I can say handle. Yeah, can't handle the truth that the apostles and elders of Bergamists don't teach, or like I say, they can't handle. They can't deal with the sufferings, or of dealing, being in the truth or knowing the truth. It becomes it becomes not what they was expecting that it would be. Like, I guess you could say a walk in the park, as they say. But that's not the case when you come to serve the Lord Yahweh Yahushua. You got to deal with the chastenings of the Lord Yahweh Yahushua. You got to, you got to deal with the Lord Yahushua. I say, you got to deal with the sufferings, man. Being in the truth, man. Everything ain't go your way. Everything, far in his lifetime, knowing and being in the truth of Lord Yahweh and knowing the word, knowing the apostles and elders of Bergamists on the men of the Lord that they've been laboring for years. They went through hell, and but like I say, in these times, and like I said, you gotta look at the apostles of Elderberg Millstone, the elders, that been in for a long time. They caught hell, and they still going, they still pushing, so you gotta look at the apostles and the elders as motivation. Like, man, these men still going. I know I could keep going. I could, whatever you gotta do, keep yourself, in the fight, to keep, doing the videos and so forth, to hopefully, to have to please the Lord Yahweh, to hopefully to have mercy by Lord Yahweh in these times, and hopefully me myself, hopefully I have mercy of Lord Yahweh, but that way it come about with being in truth, but the scriptures say, you're gonna have 1/3 and a 2/3, Only the elect of the Israelites gonna make it, of the so-called Negro Latino natives, and 2/3 of Israelites, so-called Negro Latino natives, ain't gonna make it in these times. It just is what it is. Either you gonna keep the faith in Lord Yahweh, keep doing what you gotta do, keep fighting until the end, and hopefully Lord Yahweh have mercy, and you're gonna be delivered. Lord Yahweh, have mercy, and you being delivered out of situations that you don't see yourself get out of. The Lord Yahweh is with you. But I say, if you don't keep the faith, and I say you fall back, or you given to the ways of the world, or the so-called white man, East Sodomite's world, where monetary gain, or you don't see the vision. You don't have that vision no more of of seeing this place, America, Babylon the Great, being destroyed. You know, you have that vision. You have that mindset of, well, we still here. When it's gonna be destroyed. When it's gonna be, when Lord gonna bring this place down. And this place is going down. But everything's a process. You know, everything, the word of Lord, the word of Lord Yahweh, the prophecies, everything that's in the word, of the Lord Yahweh in the Bible, it's got to be fulfilled. You know, everything's got to be fulfilled before the end. And we getting there. But it's all about having patience and keeping the faith in Lord Yahweh unto the end. So I ain't want to make this too long. Get into it. On First Maccabees 1:11. In those days went there out Israel. In First Maccabees 1:11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, "Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow." So that's what it is. Because I say, when you have men, men that was in the truth, the like I said earlier, the sufferings, of the truth became a burden, weighing on, as far as, they stopped doing what they had to do, as far as, doing their part, of the work, and, not pushing, not keeping themselves involved, whatever it may be, getting left out, kicked out the camp, kicked out of GMS for the most part, but for me myself, first and foremost, I'm still hoping for Lord Yahweh have mercy on me, it's things that I could have done better, but I'm still hoping for the mercy of Lord Yahweh still, that he, I still be able to number, to make it, but that what it is, when you be in the truth, you gotta be mindful, you gotta be locked in the faith of Lord Yahweh. Can't let things of this world pull you away from the truth, or doing what you got to do, as far as doing your videos or whatever it may be, that you have to do, within the ministry. But that what it is, just you have those that that once was and part of Great Millstone, that was in the truth, and now they not, because like I said, the burden, the sufferings got too much. It was too much, and you have those guys that leave and they go, they do their own thing, or they start their own camps, or they start going off in doctrine, and they start not saying, they stop saying the name or what it may be. They start scoffing and saying all kinds of things, and and like I said, they'll sell out, they'll start teaching false doctrine, from for money, or whatever it may be, monetary gain, or whatever it may be, right? They sell out and they give in to the so-called white man, East Sodomite, he doubles, to teach, false doctrine or whatever, whatever may, and so forth, but like I say, once you leave the truth, once you leave the Great Millstone, or get kicked out or what it may be, it, it's it ain't gonna be good, it ain't gonna be well out. It's not gonna be well out because you're not of that circle no more, and like I say, those men, they get start to feel, the can't get the word, excuse me. They start to feel bad or what it may be, or start to feel some type of way or angry or whatever it may be, you know. So they start doing their own thing and teaching false doctrines, or going at the apostles being reprobates, and you know and that's what is a it got that's part of prophecy. It got to happen, right? you know um you have those guys that you be like, wow, you probably didn't, you weren't expecting the guy to do that, but it got to happen. It's part of the script, the word of the Lord. It's part of prophecy. We're gonna have guys that start to be reprobates and start teaching false doctrine, or you know start losing the truth, the name and the name of the Lord and so forth, man. So but hopefully Lord Yahweh Shai have mercy on me and deliver me still, but that's all I have, just hopeful, just being hopeful right now. But I'll go first Maccabees 1:12. So this device pleased them well. First Maccabees 1:13. And certain of the people were so for hearing that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. So, once, like I say, once you sell out, you get that 5103C charter, whatever you want. I think it's called 501C3. You sign that contract, and you can't teach certain things, and that's what you have certain groups that teach certain false doctrine. Doctrine, they don't teach what the apostles, elders, and ministers don't teach, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. They teach. They'll teach that you're Israelite, but they don't teach about the prophecies, about the mark of the beast, about the mark of the beast being the RFID chip. They say it's an embargo, or some other crazy, or what they say is it's the phone, or whatever it may be, some other stuff, some crazy shit. But the RFID chip is the RFID chip is the mark of the beast. And like I say, that's what happens. Like, you sell out and give into the so-called white man, Esau, Edomite devils. You get, because you get let go from great millstone, whatever it may be. You start to just say, forget it. I'm just gonna side with the so-called white man, Esau, Edomite devil, be a sellout and get money and teach false doctrine and tell them and do as I and do what they tell you, but it's not gonna benefit you in the end. Gonna be destroyed for being a sellout, selling out to the so-called white man, Esau, Edomite devil. And I say eventually, like I say, taking the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. Once that becomes mandatory for you buy and sell, because that's gonna come about. And what I'm saying, a lot of people gonna have to make a decision, like, because that's gonna be a way that you gotta that taking the RFID chip is the way of it's gonna be a way that you gotta function in society, to buy and sell, to to function in society, to do what you gotta do, but that was gonna boil down to eventually gonna come. And I said the apostles and the elders and Milo Grandmaster been preaching that for years, man. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna catch, and you seeing more and more of that digital ID, need a digital ID, in the futures, to track and this and that. So it's building up to getting there. Once it's made mandatory, it's over with. And it's gonna happen. Once this this old way of the financial way, this system collapse, the money, the paper dollar being useless, and not no more of being a power. The debit cards, all that stuff not gonna be. Can't be able to use that. So you're gonna have that RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, to buy and sell, and so forth. But like I say, you have guys like say that they they sell out, and they follow the ways of the so-called white man East Sodomite devils. They start being they start giving it to the ways of how the so-called white man East Sodomites do it for, like, being the ways of being a heathen, being not of what you should be in the mind frame of Lord Yahweh Israelite, and preaching the truth and being an Israelite, and staying in the faith. But just like I said, you're gonna have those guys that, Lord, you're gonna have guys that was once part of the truth gonna sell out and and give in and like I say, just just give in to the ways of this world, but it's not gonna benefit those that sell out in the end, because it's gonna be destroyed, But go to First Maccabees 1:14, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen. So, Jerusalem is a people's place. Like I said, the so-called Negro, Latinos, are Israelites. So, like I say, man, you got those that sell out camps. Those that sell out, them camps that teach false doctrine and so forth. They got these setups and so forth that they have, no platforms, and and they go to other platforms and teach, but they teach it going off, And then, like I said, they'll and then they'll bring up, coming at the apostles, elders about something or what it may be, But it's a scary thing, once you come to the truth, man, you better hope that Lord Yahweh have mercy on you, not be a reprobate, not bug out, and just hope for mercy and deliverance in these times going forward, That's me, myself, first and foremost. Hopefully, me, myself, I'm still hoping that Lord Yahweh have mercy on me, still, I'll be delivered. But like I say, it's all about the elect, man. Either you're a part of the elect number, or you're 2/3, gonna be destroyed, man, in this time, in this lifetime, in this wicked system, the so-called white man world, But so I'll go from there to I ain't want to make this too long, so let's see. First Maccabees 1:15, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. So yeah, you come to the truth, Lord Yahweh, you in the circle, you got the knowledge, and then you leave the circle of the great millstone, however that may come about, and then you become uncircumcised, in spirit. You start teaching false doctrine, or stop bugging out, or what it may be. Start going off, or start scoffing, or putting out lies and deception amongst about the apostles. About the apostles or brethren, and So those that forsook, those that even just not even got kicked out, just left Great Millstone, just say forget it, and went back to the world. They forsook it, and went back into the world, and just want to be in the ways of the so-called white man East Sodomite world, and philosophy, because they saw it as being more easy or comfortable. Whereas the truth is, it became, a burden or too much, too much pressure, or whatever it may be, and that's what comes about, man. The truth of the word Lord Yahweh, the being in the faith, and the truth of the word Lord Yahweh is not an easy walk. Is a battle. It's a battle to keep fighting and keep pushing and to keep teaching the word Lord Yahweh, and not forsake the Lord, and keep the faith and keep pushing the best you can. Keep me myself first and foremost. Push the videos best I can. Keep pushing. And just hoping still for mercy, man. Hopefully, um, but yeah, I ain't gonna make this too long. I'm gonna go from there. In off of this Proverbs 11:21. Though hand join the hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. So yeah, so if though hand join the hand, so if you forsook the truth and sided with the so-called white man, Esau to my devil, for monetary gain, or it may be to teach false doctrine, not to teach the truth no more. Like I say, you're not gonna go. The wicked not go unpunished. The wicked is not gonna go unpunished. The so-called white man, Esau and my devils, the ones in rulership and power now, they not gonna go unpunished. So you sign with the so-called white man, Esau, you might, you still gonna be destroyed with them. You signing with the enemy, you're gonna be destroyed. Hey, loyal shot on. Hey, don't play around with that. Hey, either you with me or you with him. With them. Whose side you on? Pick a side and stay there. Either you with the so-called white man, Esau my devil, or you with the loyal shot all the way 10 toes down and straggling the fence or nowhere maybe ain't no should I stay or whatever, should I go? Either you make a decision, stay or go. But like I say, you choose the so-called white man, you choose the side of the so-called white man, Esau to my devil, you're gonna be destroyed with them. The loyal Shah and the angels listening to come back, man, they're gonna destroy this place, America, Babylon Great, man. Gonna burn all this stuff up, man. You see here, man. Ain't gonna be none left, man. But before that, it's gonna be a whole bunch of players and judgments going on, man. Especially amongst the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Israelites that, they know the Israelites, know that they be in the truth and so forth. Not just 2/3 that's just, out and about, that don't believe in the truth or, that's in the ways of this world, but those that know the truth, or once knew the truth and, forsook the truth, wherever it may be. But hey, that's what it is, man. It is what it is. That's what's gonna come about. So, nothing but harsh judgment is gonna come down by Lord Yahweh Shah, in these times going forward. And me myself, just hopefully Lord Yahweh Shah have mercy on me, but with that, again, like our present glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Kakadash, to the apostles, elders, to the sister and brothers, in Lord Great Millstone, to the sister Akim brothers, and to the Aquaf sisters that do listen. Hey, keep the faith.